Hi movers. I am so excited to introduce our first guest on Mobilization Nation. She is a very dear friend of mine. Her name is Michelle Addison. She's an actress and a personal stylist, and she basically introduced me to everything cool. I was very excited to sit down with her today and ask her all about activewear. Okay, Michelle, we've been locked up for a year and a half. We've been in our maybe underwear and pajamas doing workouts on our computers. Now that we're heading back into studios, into gyms, what should we be thinking about in activewear for 2021?
Well, okay, so activewear is a huge part of our life, and I think we have been wearing it. We're not going to stop wearing it. So I think the best thing that we should do is sort of incorporate that activewear with some other elements of casual wear. So adding like a shirt like you're wearing over top of your activewear to kind of transition from the gym to sometimes to work, to meet friends, all that kind of stuff is very key. So you can start incorporating like other trends like a jean jacket with your activewear. You'll see lots of activewear just become part of going out. I've seen lots of girls wearing bike shorts and blazers and crop top when they're going out for dinner. So these are kind of the things that we're just melding two worlds into our world, which is very, very comfortable now.
We have been at home, and I'm gonna say my outfits that I've been doing in front of a screen have ranged from underwear to half of a blanket. Do you think that this is a time where we can come out of the pandemic and start going to classes and play around a little bit and be edgy?
Yeah, I think this is an exciting opportunity because we're going to be so excited to go back to like full classes, and especially if you live in an active center like Vancouver, you're going to go out and see people and you're going to want to look good. If you work out and if you're in workout clothes like all of the week, there is nothing wrong with investing. Okay, one of the mistakes that I see a lot in people's wardrobes is that they spend a ton of money on a high heel that they wear once a year.
Yes.
So if you're wearing your athletic gear 7 days a week and you have crappy athletic wear, it is the wrong thing to do. Invest in your athletic wear, have cute outfits. You're gonna wanna look good. You're gonna see people 90% of your day in your athletic wear. It's gotta be cute. So we have to remember that when you're kind of switching your wardrobe thinking. It's not necessarily about the events that we do once a year, it's about the daily activity. So even say something like a pair of jeans, it's like you can invest in them if you're wearing them, 5 out of the 7 days a week.
Absolutely. And don't you find that when you do invest in your activewear, it kind of gets you excited to go to the gym? If there was a lack of motivation, if I get a new tennis outfit, I'm like, I'm booking my coach tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. If you have a cute outfit and that motivates you, good, because you're motivating yourself for health, for wellness, for feeling good. There is nothing wrong with the endorphins that you get from dressing cute and having a great workout.
Yeah. Better than buying a top to go to the bar and drink, right?
100%. Yeah, you're doing something healthy for yourself and you're motivating yourself for your body. I mean, we need our expressions to be beautiful all the time as a stylist.
Absolutely. And is there any places that you've noticed? I know that you take a lot of your clients' clothing to consignment shops. If, purchasing something brand new from Lululemon was not an access point, are there activewear we're seeing at consignment stores?
100%. It's funny because in consignment stores, the number one seller is often old athletic clothes, which you think is kind of random, because even when I first learned this, I was like, I didn't even think I could donate it.
Yeah.
Because I think I sweat in it or whatever. I mean, if you properly clean it and it's fine for resale, there's so many opportunities to get really cute things in secondhand shops.
Yeah, and I would imagine that there's people who buy things online over the past year especially, and you get it home and you're like, actually, the fit is off.
And then you can't return it, and you want to resell it. There's a huge market for that. And especially if you're a tricky size, there can be lots of stuff out there for you to explore.
And that's great, because we want more accessibility in terms of activewear. So being able to find something nicer at a better access point is good news.
Yeah, if you stick to something that has a lot of form and function for your leggings and maybe your bra top, you have free range on what else you wear, whether it's like a little sneaker that you maybe take off at the gym, or you don't need that support. You can have so much fun with a fashion sneaker. Same thing with your cover up or your top or your sweatshirt or your jean jacket. You can go full fashion, and now is the year, because we've been waiting too long to be stylish.
We have. What are some of the things we should consider when buying activewear, from fit to the type of activity we're doing?
Well, I mean, there are a ton of activewear brands out there, and so you do have to try on a lot. I know for me, I'm constantly trying to search for a new legging, and I always go back to Lululemon. So it is definitely key to kind of remember what activity you're doing, from like a spin class to, more of an aerobics class to Pilates. These types of activities can warrant different outfits. And there's nothing to be said about having a matching set these days. It's a really key trend, and having that matching top and matching bottom is really cute and definitely on trend.
And I guess we also have to consider your body type in the activity, because I would imagine I tend to be okay as having a smaller chest doing any activity, but I imagine the type of bra you would wear to, say, a class where you're jumping or doing Pilates just on a mat would be different if you had a large chest.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see lots of, really great designer brands doing athletic wear. You have to be a little wary about their support, because really strong athletic brands will have a system of support for bigger chested women, or even running or cycling or things like that. And you can have a look of something in a nice designer brand, like Attico does great things, Jacquemus does great things, but the support might not be there. So it's definitely more of an aesthetic kind of look versus function. And so I think that if you are doing an active sport like running, and that you need that support, you really need to go for a more strong athletic brand that has that capability to give you that support. So that's definitely key. It doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice style. So you can look towards, some of those designer brands and the cuts, the cutouts, the colors, those are key components. But I mean, if you want to do a fail safe, there's nothing wrong with just a matching black set.
And can you tell us some of the technical things that you might be looking for in activewear?
Yeah, you definitely don't want pants that slip down. As we know,
I've been there.
When you're doing jumping jacks and you're pulling them up every single time, that is definitely a no-no. So you want to look for something that's high-waisted. I mean, no one's really wearing a low-waisted pant anymore. The high-waisted feels so much more comfortable, and there's less to slip if it actually does. And same thing for bras. You definitely want to look for something that gives you that support for whatever breast size that you are.
Yeah. And I imagine certain clothing are also made with sweat wicking capability, and why you wouldn't just want to swap out a white tank top is because maybe with sweat it would go see-through, right?
Yeah, I mean, white is definitely a harder one to not show everything, when you do sweat. So the type of activity, especially if you are sweating, you want to wear a darker color. Even sometimes the darker color will give you that sweat mark, which I love about our new world, is that you can just rock it.
Yeah.
Like, you being athletic and you sweating, it's not such a faux pas anymore. It's like, this is who I am and this is what I do, and it'll dry. You want something that dries quickly.
Yes.
You don't want something that's heavy cotton or like has any wool in it, something that's not itchy. Definitely those fabrics are key to kind of look into. Something sustainable is also really a key piece to figure out too, and looking where that brand is made and how
important.
It's made. So important, and everyone is looking at that now. There's not a client that I have that doesn't ask, is this sustainable?
Yeah.
So I think there's a huge push for the fashion industry and athletic industry to kind of, be a little bit more forward thinking.
Okay. And my most important question is, you are aware of many athletic brands, and we do know that athletic apparel is expensive. And part of the reason is that it has these technical qualities that we've spoken about. But if you were going to suggest to somebody 2 staples, what would you suggest to invest in?
I mean, there is a ton of different brands that I love, but I like a Lululemon legging. It's definitely my favorite. It fits well. The function is great. In terms of bras, there's so many different options. So I think if you have like a bigger chest, you probably have to sacrifice a bit of the style just to get the sort of support that you need. But if you have more of a smaller chest to mid-size, you could really pick any bra that you like. I mean, there's so many ones that are like kind of, the cutout is really cool these days. Having some sort of, because we are wearing just the bra and
Yes.
the pants, these are things you can invest in. I mean, even an oversized sweatshirt that you can wear to have coffee with your friends afterwards, like we do.
Yes.
To cover all the sweat.
Yeah.
Is a great piece too. And it's like you can invest a little more in those designer sweatshirts if that's your style.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be wearing them not only like to cover up at the gym, but you can also wear that out for, dinner, lunch, whatever you want to do with your life. So you can mix in a little bit of an elevated element in your dressing for athletic wear if you want.
Okay. And I had one more question, even though I said I didn't. What is your favorite activity right now, or what are you doing during the week for your activity?
Well, I range from running with our friends to doing the stairs at UBC to doing a spin class at Ride. I'm like super obsessed with trying to get better at cycling.
I know.
Every time I go, I feel like I'm gonna die.
When we're doing this.
Yeah, totally. And then I love turf classes too. So, I mean, I'm waiting for the class to come back in person in Vancouver, and then I'll start doing that again. But I like mixing it up so that I have a different range, and I'm always interested in just having fun. Like, I don't ever go in and suffer. I always want to go with a friend. It's very social for me. Having coffee afterwards is like my favorite thing.
Well, I love working out with you.
I do too.
Thank you for joining me today and answering our pressing activewear questions.
Thanks.